Hello, Jill.
Hey, how are you?
We're on
Good.
meeting to order.
So, welcome everybody to the town board meeting. Today's Monday, August 26th, 2019. It is 9 a.m. Monday morning.
AM.
What did I say? I said p.m.?
Well, you said Monday morning,
Force
so
of habit.
that works.
It is, of course. And, okay, first thing is, what are you talking about first? Payment of, Ed, what are you,
Payment of claims?
yeah. So,
ELQ, and then Ross has distributed a
let me get that summary of that actually.
summary sheet.
Right, so
I have that.
the two payments are to Boswell for $149,000+ and to ELQ for $508,903.55. So I think these were already discussed, we're just approving, authorizing these are good to go, they're in the check run. Ed, I don't know if you wanna comment, is this the time to comment?
No, we can discuss recent developments with ELQ later.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is consistent with the holdback that we discussed of $100,000.
Yes.
Okay, next.
Okay, the next item is the SALTSR, additional scope of work items. There's the memo there, and
Yeah.
so it's,
Does the board have any questions about this?
No, sorry, you can't see me shaking my head.
Nope.
okay. And then we have the Watsky Associates, they're gonna do the consultants, and they're gonna draw up the specs for the roof repair at the community center. I think, is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Accepting their resignation
Yep.
as an employee.
Part-time labor, yep.
Okay, yep, okay, perfect, and allowing us to post then.
Yep.
Okay, rescinding the retirement, okay. And conference attendance for the assessor.
Yep.
Streetscape planters approval,
Fine with me.
okay. Extension of our cleaning contract for the cleaners for town hall and DPW, okay, good. We are flying.
Can I just ask
along.
about the planters, is this consistent
Yes.
with the original plan, Jill? This is a
Yes,
big order.
right, this is right, so
It's a lot of
It's
I
like
had to go out
it's like
and,
57 planters or something, yeah, 57
yeah,
planters.
57 planters, yeah. Steve actually walked the downtown because we wanted to make sure of the number and we also want to make sure of the placement. So he has confirmed the number and the placement along with our tree layout downtown.
And
So
can you
we're confirmed on both.
Can you remind me, I guess I can't recall, are we able to use the tree fund for the planters and the plantings? The tree bank fund? No.
For maybe the flowers, but not for the
Not
not
for
for
the,
the
not
planters.
for the planters themselves. And so where will the we were gonna accept, I assume, the lower bid, lower the
The
two
lowest
bids here?
bid, yes.
So it's the 19,000, which is actually not that bad. So where will this come out of, the 19,000?
So I have
it's
it,
gonna-
I have it down and I actually hadn't updated it for this approval, but if you look at the bottom of the second page, under miscellaneous venues with streetscape furniture, I think in that $60,000, Joe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we had estimated $60,000 between the planters and the tables and that, is that correct?
No, the 60,000 is what we approved for just the,
That's just the furniture?
just the furniture.
Just the furniture.
Okay, then this is where I would show the 19,000 down in this area. So it'll end up adding to the budget for the project.
And so, what I'm driving at with this is the thought then that this is all coming out of the $1.5 million from Summit Greenfield?
No, we're not using that money
No?
for this project.
It's, we
We've discussed
had
these
never
for this project
designated it
in the
for that. That was, this was part of the original contract that we pulled out from ELQ because it was just, their funds were just so extraordinary. And we knew that we could get them for less. So they were pulled out of the original contract that they were always intended to be put back in, just at a more modest cost.
Okay, but so then we're $1.5 million over our original budget at this point. So
Yes.
where does that $1.5 million come from?
Fund balance.
Fund balance, or, I mean, that will be, once we close the project out, it will be the board's decision, fund balance, to borrow additional funds, or a combination thereof, or however.
Right.
When you look, I will point out, when we include, when we're 1.5 million over the budget, in that revised budget is also the number for WSP of $1 million, and if you look at the end, amount remaining to spend. So, we're not gonna spend all of that WSP money, so that's gonna offset some of this overage. We're still gonna have additional change orders, so we're probably ultimately gonna end up close to where we are right now, I think, when everything comes out in the wash. And I know there's also, it's a much lesser amount, but there are projects in the original scope that have come in less, items that we've substituted or removed as we've gone through the project. They're not showing that on a perpetual basis, but you'll see that in the end. So, I mean, well, there's no question we're gonna end up this project probably $1 million to $1.5 million or more over budget, depending on where we wind up, so.
That's a big word for us.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I don't have a problem with approving it as long as, Steve's comfortable with. Oh, the other thing I was gonna ask on this topic though, just while we're talking about the streetscape elements, is I know that both Rob and I have had side conversations at various points about the trees that are going to be planted and whether we can use the tree funds to upgrade
Well, we
those
use-
trees. Is that still being discussed? And-
We're using the tree funds for the trees in the first place, but
Yeah.
I think the point was we should try to get as big as trees as
Right.
possible without compromising their ability to take root and all the other
Right.
tree stuff.
Yeah, so what we had originally approved for the trees, so they were in the trees that are currently in the contract with ELQ. We were gonna take that line item and transfer whatever that line item was out of the tree bank fund. So essentially, we're gonna pay for the trees, but it was in the contract, I don't believe that we can remove it at this point and do it ourselves. So ELQ was gonna follow through with the trees, and we were going to fund it. So that's gonna help offset a little bit of this overage too, because you're gonna have another funding source, which is the tree bank
But
fund.
we still wanna get
Yeah.
we still wanna get as big as
Sure.
trees as possible.
So that would end up, I assume, being a change order then through ELQ, because you have, your line items are gonna be for whatever tree at whatever size. So
Right.
you're upgrading that would end up being a change order.
Which we're reimbursing anyway, but we should look
Yeah.
into that.
Right, and I don't think that Steve Coleman was holding back on the trees because of pricing. I think he was holding back on the size of the tree he was recommending based upon the fact that, he didn't think that he was trying to plant the most viable tree possible, and he just feels that the smaller they are, the more twig-like they are, the better they have a chance of surviving. Whether
Well-
he's right or not is anybody's guess, but
We should ask him
I guess we have to
for,
trust him on that.
well, just like, he prepared a memo that I posted numerous times in response to people that complain about the trees that we're removing, and it's always good to remind people what's being planted.
Yeah.
We should ask him to maybe prepare a short little memo as to why these small trees are best as far as giving them the
Right,
best chance of
viability goes,
success. Exactly.
absolutely, sure,
Just so we have an
Sure.
explanation from our arborist.
okay.
Well, and I think at the same time, to the extent that if there are viable upgrades that can be made, that we can leverage the
Right.
tree fund balance for, I
Yeah,
think
I agree.
Absolutely,
we all
yes.
want
Definitely.
Yeah,
to do the best we can there.
Yeah, so I'll ask him also to just look at it one more time. Is there any other option that would be just as viable with an equal type of root system that might be
Right.
bigger?
And we can give him,
Yep.
and as we can give him steroids. Probably steroids.
Miracle Grow, whatever it is.
Right,
Put it
Miracle
there,
Grow.
that-
Yeah, we need a line item from Miracle Grow.
Miracle Grow.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So are there resolutions for all of these items on the agenda?
There are, and there's just one
Okay,
thing
great.
we didn't touch on was the resolution, naming the architect to survey and inspect dangerous property, that's the Gray Rock.
Yep.
And that's, but we have the resolution packet here. the board's
Okay,
ready
great.
to vote on them, it would be great to do that, and then that would conclude the business.
Okay. I move to approve the payment of claims in the amount of $1,906,237.23 listed on the summary pre-check writing report and detail voucher detail report, each prepared on August 23rd, 2019. Checks will be issued and mailed to each claimant listed on Monday, August 26th, 2019.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move to authorize the purchase of additional scope of work from Sulzer for the Inningwood Road Pump Station project for items 16 and 21 from their revised Addendum A additional work scope revised August 13th, 2019 for an additional amount of $65,734.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move to accept the proposal of Watsky Associates Inc., 20 Madison Avenue in Valhalla for consulting services with regard to the community center roof, 10 Center Street, in an amount not to exceed $23,100.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to accept the resignation of David Mosley from the position of part-time laborer in recycling.
Second.
All in favor?
Wanna go or
You
go?
can go on.
I move to authorize the town to post the position of part-time laborer in recycling.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move to rescind the town board resolution dated August 13th, 2019, which accepted the resignation of Mary Deems from the position of deputy town clerk.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Welcome back. I move to authorize the assessor to attend the NYSAA Annual Fall Conference in Lake Placid from September 22nd to September 25th for the total amount of $1,042.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I hope she's not having another retirement party, by the way. Just gonna get that out.
I move to approve the purchase of 57 streetscape planters from Campania International as listed below. 37 tall planters at $379, each totaling $14,023, and 20 low planters at $289 each, totaling $5,780 for the total amount of $19,803.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to authorize the extension of DPW bid 2018-05 building services contract with Quality Facility Solution Corporation for an additional year with an ECI increase of 2.8%.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Whereas on November 4th, 2012, the single-family residence located at 9 Grey Rock Park Road in Chappaqua was extensively damaged by fire and rendered uninhabitable. And whereas by memorandum dated August 12th, 2019, the building inspector advised the town board the condition of the subject building has deteriorated to the point that it poses a threat to public health and safety. Whereas under New York Town Code, Town Law, Section 130-16, and Town Code 48-22E, the town is authorized to demolish and remove an unsafe building in the event that its owner fails to do so after due notice. And whereas by resolution adopted on August 13, 2019, the town board authorized the building inspector to provide the owner of the subject building with written notice of the particulars in which the building is unsafe and or dangerous, and an order requiring it to be demolished and removed within a stated period of time. On August 15th, 2019, that was duly served upon the owner of the subject building, whereas no corrective action has been initiated by the owner of the subject building with respect to that notice order, and the town has received no response or objection to same, so now therefore be it resolved that Sasaki and Spade Architects is named to inspect and survey the subject building, and together with the building inspector issue a report thereon pursuant to Town Code Section 48-22E, and is further resolved the town administrator is authorized and directed to take such further action as may be necessary to implement this resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
That it?
Good.
I move to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.